Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jocelyn receives a job offer, and Lucky crashes. Brooklyn related to Chase how she became pregnant in high school, gave the kid up for adoption, and only told her mother. She apologized for not telling him and said that it was a difficult moment, but her mother remained by her side and helped her get through it. Brooklyn said she had made a hurried decision regarding the adoption, but she understood she didn't need her family's judgment. She went on tour with her mother for 5 months and never saw the baby after it was born. She wasn't sure if it was a boy or a girl. Chase felt sympathetic as Brooklyn described her emotions and what it was like to have a kid and then have to give it up in the hopes that it would have a better life. She apologized for lying, but he denied that it was a lie. He stated that was part of her past, and she could choose who she shared it with. Brooklyn never wanted to hide anything from him again. Chase stated all he wanted to know was, "Are you okay?" he asked. Brooklyn was amazed. Chase told Brooklyn that she could tell him anything and praised her for sharing such a personal part of herself. Chase asked if she wanted to find him or her, but she felt it would be unfair. Having you in their life would only make it better, Chase informed her. He said he'd back her if she wanted to, but it was up to her. In the kitchen, Sasha informed Tracy about the PI and how she met her. Tracy inquired as to what Sasha had informed her before to learning about Elaine. Sasha admits to telling her the due date of her baby. Tracy thanked her for the information. "You're holding something back, I can tell," Sasha charged. Tracy inquired if she and Jason intended to marry. Sasha rephrased it as whether she was going to make the baby an official courtemane. Tracy pointed out that Sasha wasn't knocked up by a one-night encounter with some guy from a bar. She had sex with a courtemane, and not just any one of them, but the favorite. Sasha reminded her of her vow to respect her freedom to make her own judgments. Tracy changed her mind once she realized the baby was a courtemane. Tracy probed Sasha until she admitted that Jason was the father. Sasha departed, but Jason entered. Tracy informed him she was delighted he was putting Danny first and reminded him that he was family. Jason warned her that Drew was after him. Tracy stated that Jason claimed Drew believed the entire family had turned against him, making Drew the enemy. She said they were delighted Jason was there. Drew admitted that coming into Jason's house and demanding peace took a lot of nerve. Drew claimed Jason didn't care for Sam when he ambushed him the night before the funeral and questioned what had changed. Jason stated that Danny and Scout needed to be together, which implied that they needed to get along for their own sake. Drew argued every point Jason made. Drew stated that ever since he discovered they were twins, his entire life has revolved around one moment. "What if Susan Moore returned me to Port Charles instead of you?" Drew asked. He could have enjoyed a more luxurious life rather than living alone in a group home. He believed he had established a place for himself in the family, and Jason wanted back in after never appreciating what he had. "It breaks my heart what Scout is going through, but I am her father, and I will do what's right for her, always," Drew hissed. Drew pointed out that no matter what he did to fit in, he did one thing for himself. He fell in love with the wrong woman, and the family couldn't shake him off fast enough. But Jason might be a hitman and still have a place with them. He told Jason to leave his residence. At the hospital, Isaiah informed Laura, Lulu, Aiden, and Elizabeth that it was premature to make a prognosis. Aiden was worried that his father would not make it. It was too soon to tell, but Isaiah reassured Lucky that he was his best friend and understood his concerns. Isaiah took Aiden and Elizabeth to see Lucky in the ICU. Portia encouraged Lucky to cling on in his hospital room. Liz and Aiden stepped in and told Lucky that Elizabeth was safe and that he needed to wake up. Lucky's monitor began beeping loudly. As Elizabeth ushered Aiden out of the room, the crash crew entered and linked up the paddles in an attempt to save Lucky. Laura assured Lulu that Lucky will endure Cyrus, just as she had. Laura explained to Lulu how Cyrus caused her liver failure. Laura felt sorry about her brother's conduct, but Lulu simply blamed Cyrus for being who he was. Lulu recalls Dr. Gannon telling her that the liver transplant was most likely the reason she woke up. She reflected that if Cyrus had not attempted to kill her, she may still be in a coma and Sam would be alive. Laura claimed Cyrus should never have been released from prison. Elizabeth and Aiden approached and told them about Lucky, and Aiden wailed because his father might be dying. Portia stayed out a bit longer, announcing that they had stabilized Lucky. They all embraced and hugged upon hearing the excellent news. They all thanked Portia, who credited Dr. Gannon for not giving up. Near the nurse's station, Dante asked Anna why Cyrus would go for Elizabeth, and she described how she and Lucky discovered Cyrus was using Digitalis to kill people. Dante was furious yet eager to find Cyrus after learning he had confessed to Dex and Sam's murder. She revealed that he believed he was on a mercenary assignment with others, but Dex and Sam got in his way. Jordan arrived and informed Anna that she had discovered a decades-long connection between Cyrus and the Gatlin family of Powduck. Anna mentioned that Dr. Austin Gatlinholt was killed in Powduck in 2023. Dante stated that the shooting was never solved. Anna contacted someone to obtain a list of all properties held by the doctor. Dante assured Anna that he wanted Cyrus apprehended, not dead. She agreed to let him be a part of the case and arrested him just before receiving a call with the cabin's address. Jack entered the cabin and commanded Jocelyn to hand him the firearm. She handed him the revolver and stated that Cyrus was going to kill her, so she had no alternative but to kill him first. Jack claimed he knew since he was outside when it happened. He offered to contact the police, or they could handle it themselves. Jocelyn cried, saying that using Dex's gun to shoot Cyrus would make her look even more guilty. Jack explained how lawyers could claim he didn't see what he did. He again offered to take care of it. But once the WSB is involved, no one can know what happened here tonight, not even your mother, Brennan claimed. He said if Joss couldn't do it, they'd have to contact the cops. Jocelyn insisted she could do it, so Jack grabbed her and said they were leaving right away. He informed her that if anyone inquired, she was never at the cabin. They walked away, leaving Cyrus dead on the floor. Brennan led Jocelyn back to the WSB headquarters and instructed her to shower, change into the clothes waiting for her in the restroom, and leave everything else behind. He grabbed the rifle and wiped it clean. Colette entered, and Jack informed her that Cyrus had died. Colette warned him that cleaning it up would be difficult because Cyrus had previously attempted to murder Elizabeth and Lucky, and an APB had been issued for him. She claimed it was only a matter of time until Anna discovered the cabin. Colette explained why they couldn't hide the shooting. Jack told Colette to clean everything up with one exception. Jocelyn vomited up in the WSB restroom after recalling killing Cyrus. She washed but still had flashbacks and was freaking out. After getting ready, she returned to Brennan's office. He had just placed Dex's wiped gun in his bureau and sat down. He confirmed that no one knew where Jocelyn was going that evening or that she had visited the cottage, before telling her that she had set everything in motion when she requested satellite coverage from West Plaza. Joss stated that this was futile because the footage was no longer available. No, it wasn't. Jack responded, your instincts were spot on, as she showed her a photo of Cyrus holding a knife. I do not comprehend. Did you know Cyrus had slain Dex all along? She asked. She questioned why he hadn't gone to the police, but he explained that he wanted to see what she would do with the information. Jack claimed it had nothing to do with Carly, but he thought Jocelyn might be an excellent WSB agent. Jack pointed out that Joss had carried a gun to protect herself and had taken action rather than hiding. Jocelyn informed him how she found the bracelets, and Cyrus was about to assault her with an axe, so she shot him. Jack inquired if she would have pulled the trigger if Cyrus had not approached her. Jocelyn cried because she didn't know. Well, it's good that we didn't call the police then, Jack told me. Jack promised Joss that even if she didn't join the WSB, they would cover up what happened to Cyrus. But you'd make one hell of an agent, he replied. He offered her money and instructed her to purchase a new phone. He urged her to inform everyone she knew that she had lost hers. He also stated that he had her car moved over from the chalet and guaranteed she could drive it home. Jocelyn left, and Colette entered. She can just walk out of there? She asked. Yes, and when she comes back, it's better if she thinks it's her idea, she said Jack. Outside the cabin, Dante, Anna, and other officers arrived with pistols drawn. Dante kicked open the door, and they rushed through it. Anna observed that the cottage was absolutely dust-free and there was no indication of people or anything. She requested that forensics come in and look for something. If Cyrus was here, he'd have left something behind, she said me. The next time Anna appeared on General Hospital, she informed someone that she wanted them at the station. Trina feels Jocelyn is up to something. Christina assures Molly that she will never believe in the system again. Brooke Lynn tells her mother that she has told Chase everything. Joss from General Hospital pulled the trigger, but, spoiler, will be blamed for Cyrus' death, plus, the worst possible week for a temporary recast. Half of the title of this week's column says it all. It was the worst conceivable time to surprise General Hospital fans with a temporary lucky recast. Cyrus died unexpectedly after dragging out this story for months, and his swan song was a tremendous squandered opportunity. The drama also observed Valentine's Day a week late, with some romance and some serious truth-telling. Lucky? Fans of not so much have been waiting for Elizabeth and Lucky to rekindle their romance. When they eventually did, Guy Wilson, not Jonathan Jackson, was kissing Liz. Not only that, but not Lucky was present when Cyrus was put down. Make that the other way around, considering that Cyrus injected him with Digitalis. But we knew Lucky wouldn't be gone forever because Jonathan Jackson was set to return to the role, which he did on Friday. Of fact, all he had to do that day was lie there and let Portia and Isaiah rescue his life. Cyrus admitted to everything except the murders. He believed God had sent him to free souls caught between worlds and send them to heaven. Unfortunately, Sam and Dex interfered with his mission. We received a brief mention of Austin's murder, but it was just to help Anna and company discover Cyrus was hiding out at a cabin the late doctor owned. The show should have at least stated that Austin found out what Cyrus was going to do, which is why the psychopath killed him. Laura admitted on Friday that Cyrus appeared to begin killing as soon as he was released from prison. Unfortunately, with Cyrus' death, it appears that Austin's murder will remain unsolved indefinitely. Unhappy Valentine's Day. It was nice to see the Savoy again, and Chase surprising Brooke Lynn with a singing performance was entertaining. However, I could have done without seeing Willow and Drew this week. Drew had the nerve to assume he'd be welcomed at the Savoy. Congratulations to Curtis for kicking him out. Fortunately, Willow also turned down Drew's invitation to move in with him. Yeah, that would have further improved her already ruined reputation around town. Chase's second Valentine's Day surprise went wrong when Brooke Lynn revealed her adolescent pregnancy. Their conversation was poignant, and Chase's support for his wife was heartfelt. He's now promised to assist her find her baby if she wants. Of course, after he learns that Dante is the father, he may not be as open-minded about everything. As much as I miss Charles Measure as Jack, I don't mind Chris McKenna's take on the role. His mini-date with Carly was enjoyable, as did his encounter with the really beautiful Donna. Seriously, why don't we see her more frequently? Special Agent Joss? Joss did a wonderful job taking out Cyrus, who was terrible standing at the doorway with that axe. A commenter on Thursday's recap compared him to Jason from Friday the 13th. Jeff Kober's performances this week are likely to earn him another Daytime Emmy. However, Jack coming to Joss' rescue and then explaining why he'd been providing her information was ridiculous. He assured her she was special and would be an excellent WSB agent. Even while I suspected that was his motivation for feeding her information weeks before, it was more of a joking guess. Joss couldn't even follow Anna's directions to remain out of this inquiry, and without Jack, she would never have connected the dots about Cyrus. How does this transfer into her becoming a great WSB agent in the future? Yes, Jack, let's entrust foreign secrets to the young woman who can't keep her lips shut. Speaking of Joss keeping her mouth shut, that's exactly what Jack urged her to do in regards to Cyrus' death and assistance. She can't say anything about it to her mother. So, what will Joss do when Jason, whom everyone heard threatened to make Cyrus disappear, is blamed for Joss' actions? Oh, you know where this is going. In conclusion, the show missed the potential to create a mystery surrounding Cyrus' death. However, what one plot loses, another gains. Who shot down Congressman Quartermain? Anyone? General Hospital spoilers, Brennan does damage control, and Carly discovers he's been using Joss for the WSB. General Hospital speculations and rumors suggest that Jack Brennan will perform damage control this week on the show. Jocelyn Jax has a perilous run-in with Cyrus Renault thanks to information regarding Cyrus' hideout. Will he perform damage control with Carly Spencer? Brennan is testing Jocelyn. Colette Moreau is in on it. Viewers should recall recent sequences between Brennan, Colette Moreau, and Colette and Jocelyn. Brennan informed Colette that he was testing Jocelyn for WSB purposes, to see if she would follow a breadcrumb to Cyrus' cabin. Jocelyn has not only taken the cues, but she has also put herself in the killer's sights by not only accusing him in front of him, but also breaking into his bedroom. Anna Devane came down on her hard after Cyrus' landlord was questioned, and the description matched Jocelyn. But when she breaks into Cyrus' cabin, she'll be in much more danger. She received the address from Colette, and Cyrus walks in on her snooping. In the meantime, Brennan romances Carly despite the fact that he is using Jocelyn and testing her for the WSB. Brennan is romancing Carly, and Carly trusts Brennan wholeheartedly, contrary to Jason Morgan's warning. Of course, Brennan has gone above and beyond his WSB duties on several occasions, ensuring that Lucky Spencer arrived in Port Charles and that Michael Corinthos was admitted to the burn clinic. Brennan knows exactly what he's doing to protect Carly from discovering his purpose with her daughter, while also taking advantage of her vengeful motives. Another puzzle is why Brennan and the WSB are interested in Cyrus at all. He is Anna's and the PCPD's responsibility. Perhaps Cyrus' reach has stretched far beyond the United States, and he is wanted in WSB territory, but this yet to be seen and verified, as do his mercy killings. Carly and Brennan are interrupted, and then Isaiah Gannon and Portia Robinson work to save a life. Could it be Jocelyn's, since Cyrus has struck again? Jocelyn may have taken Dex Heller's revolver with her when she entered the cabin, but Cyrus reappears at Elizabeth Baldwin's house in a threatening manner. There may be more than one victim in Cyrus' potentially final killing spree, but the truth always comes out in the end. Does Carly learn about Brennan's use of her daughter for WSB reasons, which clearly endangers her in a serious way? If that's the case, Brennan will be doing a lot of damage control and making hastily manufactured justifications and lies, and Carly is unlikely to swallow it. Lucky's fate, Jason's truce, and Brennan's criminal cover-up. Get ready for a day of explosive drama, intrigue, and action on General Hospital. Lucky Spencer's fate. The preview clip depicts Lucky in great jeopardy. After saving Elizabeth Liz Baldwin, Cyrus Renault stabbed Lucky with a syringe. Liz called 911 and, as Cyrus escaped, began administering CPR on Lucky. In today's episode preview, Lucky is in the emergency room. Lucky codes as Portia Robinson and Isaiah Gannon work tirelessly to save his life. Lulu Spencer and Laura Collins appear in the hospital waiting room, causing Jake Weber to panic. Laura inquires as to what is wrong with Jake Weber and Liz. Jake laments the fact that his father is dying as Liz stands behind him. Jack Brennan's cover-up. General Hospital spoilers suggest that the preview tape also depicts what transpires after Jocelyn Jax kills Cyrus in self-defense. The villain charged Joss with an axe, so she was lucky she was armed. Of course, Jocelyn may have to explain why she is in Cyrus' cabin, especially after Anna Devane's repeated warnings. Moving on, Jocelyn called Brennan after killing Cyrus. When Brennan arrives, he surprises Joss by suggesting they take care of it themselves. If Joss agrees, she may be obliged to Brennan for a long time. In the upcoming episode, Jason will also give Drew Kane Quartermain a truce. However, the textual clues indicate that Jason and Drew will also face off. So, this may be a circumstance in which Jason attempts to broker a truce, but Drew's ego is so monstrously inflated that he refuses it. Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase also continue their discussion on the teen pregnancy bombshell. So, what happens when Dante Falconeri discovers that he has another child, one he is unaware of? What happens when Giovanni Gio Palmieri discovers that Dante and BLQ are his biological parents? How does this affect Lulu's potential future with Dante, particularly given her already strained relationship with Brooklyn? Colin Cassidy believed he blew his audition for Aiden on GH. Colin Cassidy auditioned for the role of Aiden on General Hospital, which was the biggest role he'd ever taken on in his new career. Many auditions nowadays are done on tape, with the actor recording their performance and sending it in to the casting director, and the young performer sent his in to GH casting director Mark Teschner and didn't hear back for quite some time before finally obtaining a callback. I was not expecting it at all, Cassidy admitted to Soap Opera Digest. I was so excited. Wow, alright, let's do this. I went to the in-person audition enthusiastic and scared, hoping to do my best. Mark Teschner was present for the callback, as was Frank Valentini, GH's executive producer, and it was intimidating at first because there were about 10 other kids who looked exactly like me. I was like, how do I stand out? But I just walked in, stuck to my training, tried to be as friendly as possible, and got the job done. On the drive home, he went through an emotional roller coaster. I remember getting out of the callback and not feeling good about it, Cassidy told me. I mean, I constantly doubt myself, but I remember riding back home and thinking, alright, I'm gonna have to go get my day job back. And then I received a call from my manager on the way home, and he told me otherwise. That was a fantastic moment because I was practically on my way to my restaurant job and asked, so, can I get back on the schedule? After telling his family the good news, Cassidy did a little work before heading to the GH studio to ease into the role of Liz's kid. I had researched a little bit before watching the other actors to see how they played Aiden and his relationship with Liz, he told me. But, certainly, my portrayal will be slightly different. I felt like it was more about developing a genuine friendship with Becky, Herbst, Elizabeth, and letting it come across naturally in our moments. I believe that what we shared from the start was critical in developing that relationship, and I believe that it will only grow stronger and deeper as we continue to do so. I believe that every time we share scenes, it gets better. General Hospital report for the week of February 17, 2025. Sonny told Carly that he and Ava had reached a custody agreement. Laura suspected Drew was using eminent domain to seize the Piers from Sonny in order to exact revenge on Jason. Sasha and Jason agreed to go public with him, claiming to be her baby's father, and she kissed him at the police station to make their tale more credible. Liz showed Anna information that Cyrus sat with persons who died of unknown causes. After discussing Rocco, Lulu and Dante began to grow closer again. Kai took Trina on a date to the Savoy, where Chase performed a surprise song. Brennan repaired Carly's sink. Lucky and Liz kissed. Mac developed a migraine headache after witnessing Sasha and Jason kiss. Anna pleaded Jason not to kill Cyrus. Emma attempted to get Jocelyn to help with her fundraiser. Chase informed Dante that he couldn't father a child. Drew showed up at the Savoy's Valentine's celebration, and Curtis kicked him out. Cyrus told Elizabeth that his motivation for killing was to alleviate people's pain and suffering and to eradicate any who attempted to stop him. He was the cause of Lulu's liver failure since he was attempting to determine which medications would be successful and painless. Cyrus attempted to inject Liz with Digitalis, but Lucky intervened, and the two men wrestled until Lucky was wounded with the Digitalis needle, and Cyrus fled. Brooke Lynn informed Chase that she had previously had a baby. Laura, Anna, and Jordan agreed that Drew couldn't be trusted. Drew asked Willow and her children to move in with him, but she declined. Jason considered killing Cyrus before going to Drew's to make up. Curtis hauled out the big guns, asking Aunt Stella to contact her congressional buddy to assist them fight Drew, who is impeding their Esplanade project. Joss discovered the hospital bracelets of Cyrus victims at his cabin. Cyrus showed up and attacked her with an axe, but she shot him dead with Dex's revolver. She then phoned Brennan for assistance. Brennan assisted Jocelyn by transporting her back to WSB headquarters and having the crime scene cleaned. He then offered her a position as an agent. Drew refused Jason's peace offer. Chase was quite kind when Brooke Lynn informed him about her prior pregnancy. Lucky collapsed in General Hospital, but Portia and Isaiah saved his life. Anna, Dante, and some police officers attacked Cyrus' cabin, but it was so immaculate that it didn't appear to have been lived in. Chase assured Brooke Lynn that if she desired to find her child, he would do everything he could to assist her. General Hospital preview, Carly and Jack are no accident, head writers reveal, and more lives threatened. Nothing is ever as it seems on General Hospital. Consider Carly and Jack's romantic connection. We imagined it happened naturally, like two gorgeous people feeling hot for each other. But there's more to it than meets the eye or any other area of the body. Brennan's presence in Port Charles and his proximity to Carly is no accident, Elizabeth Korta and Chris Van Etten told Soap Opera Digest. His feelings for Carly are accidental, though, and those feelings will come into direct conflict with his intentions for Jocelyn. So, what precisely are those intentions? Joss is clearly in hot water, having slain Cyrus and everything. He deserved it, right? After murdering her boyfriend, the guy attacked her with an axe. This was a perfect example of justifiable homicide. However, the scribes warn that the Spencer women will find themselves plunged into a world totally alien to them, Brennan's world. Their participation with Jack will have an influence on more than just them. A number of Port Charles residents will be drawn into this developing story as loyalties, friendships, and families are called into question, present loves are tested, new loves emerge, and many lives are threatened, including Jason's. Stone cold? Really? He was not even present when Jocelyn brought Cyrus to his maker. This may be the only scenario in which he does not have to ride to the rescue. However, Korta and Van Etten argue that the combination of Joss killing Cyrus and Jack assisting puts our hero's freedom on the line. We will believe when we see it. We're all aware that the mobsters govern Port Charles. Lucky is fighting for his life, Chase supports Brooklyn, and Jack has a plan for Jocelyn. Harrison Chase gathers his thoughts after learning that Brooklyn Quartermain had previously been pregnant, and then listens as she recounts that it happened while she was a teenager and the father was unaware. She assures him that only Lois Cerullo knows the truth. She describes how afraid she was at the moment, and Chase is not surprised that Lois was on her side. BLQ argues that adoption was the greatest option, but she realized she couldn't tell the family. She embarked on a 5-month tour with Lois before returning to her normal life. Chase knows how difficult the situation was for her, and she is surprised that he is not upset with her. She apologizes for lying, and he claims it is not a lie. It's a part of her past, and she gets to pick who she tells it to. Chase asks BLQ if she's okay because this was a lot to deal with at such a young age. He tells her she is much stronger than he realizes. They then talk about the prospect of finding her child. Chase informs her that it is up to her and that he will back her decision. Drew shares his jealousy with Jason. Drew Quartermain can't believe Jason Morgan is standing in his house, pleading for a truce. He wonders why Jason wants to respect Sam's desires now, after bashing him up just before her funeral. He begins to focus on Jason, wishing he had been brought back to Port Charles when they were younger so he could have grown up with Monica. Instead, he is the brother who inherited the group home and was forced to fend for himself at the age of 18. He wishes he had what Jason constantly takes for granted. Drew is enraged that the murdering hitman is always welcome in the Quartermain household, but when he falls in love with the wrong woman, everyone despises him. Drew is ready to leave the family and take Scout with him. He then tells Jason to leave his residence. Tracy Quartermain wants to speak with Sasha Corbin over a cup of tea. Sasha reveals that she believes a private investigator named Elaine is prowling about looking for dirt on Michael Corinthos. Tracy asks what information she handed up, and Sasha responds that she informed Elaine her exact due date and that the woman was hired by Willow Corinthos' divorce counsel. Sasha notices Tracy's reluctance to speak up and inquires about it. Tracy wants to know if Sasha and Jason are getting married if he is the father of her child. Tracy says that Sasha became pregnant by Quartermain, not a random dude at the pub. She harasses Sasha until she caves and tells her that Jason is the father as he enters into the kitchen and overhears. Jason swiftly shifts the subject, informing Tracy that Drew is becoming a problem. Tracy agrees, telling Jason that she is relieved that he is staying at the house. As Anna and Dante take action, Lucky Spencer is stable and under guard. Elizabeth Baldwin and Aidan Weber are the first to enter and view him. Portia Robinson informs Liz that Lucky is holding his own. She and Aidan speak to Lucky, who is unconscious, and tell him to hang on. Liz also thanked him for saving her life. Aidan expresses gratitude to Lucky for keeping him at home for the past few months. Lucky begins to code as Liz takes Aidan out of the room. Laura Collins informs Lulu Spencer in the GH waiting room that Cyrus Renault has admitted to wanting to rescue her from her pain. She tells her that he was the cause of her liver failure. They converse for a while, and Lulu goes through the events and decides to believe that if Cyrus hadn't caused her liver failure, she would still be in a coma. Cyrus' automobile was captured on camera, and Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri are attempting to figure out where he is going. Anna informs Dante that Cyrus confessed to Elizabeth about killing Sam, Dex, and the others. Jordan Ashford conducts a search for anyone connected to Cyrus and discovers Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt, who was shot dead in 2023 and his murder has never been investigated. Anna requests a list of all properties owned or rented by Holt, as Cyrus could be hiding in one. She obtains what she believes to be the most likely address, and she and Dante proceed to investigate with plenty of backup. They arrive, and Dante kicks in the door. They go around, and the cabin appears almost too immaculate to have been inhabited or left empty. Anna claims that if Cyrus has been there, they will discover something. Jack makes an offer to Jocelyn when Jack Brennan steps in. Cyrus is dead on the floor. He urges Jocelyn Jacks to hand him the gun and says they can either call the cops or clean it up themselves. He heard what was going on between Joss and Cyrus from outside the cabin, but he wasn't in the room, so his evidence won't be accepted in court. He informs Joss that he can handle the matter, but she must remain silent and pretend as if she never visited the cabin. She claims she can handle it, and they depart. Jack takes her back to the WSB office and instructs her to go into the bathroom and shower, leaving anything she brought into the cabin in the bathroom. He informs her that there is a change of clothes for her in there. She walks in and begins to feel ill as she recalls Cyrus' statements from earlier in the evening. Jack pulls the revolver from his pocket and throws it on his desk. Colette steps in, and he informs her that he didn't realize Joss had a gun, and Cyrus is now dead. He is then informed that covering up the death will be difficult because Cyrus attacked Liz and Lucky and now has an APB out for him. They know Anna will locate the cabin eventually, so it needs to be cleaned beforehand. Joss joins Jack in his office, where he informs her that she set the entire evening in action. He helped her piece together Dex's murder to see what she would do with the information. Joss freaks out and wonders if he's playing a game with her, and Jack replies she possesses all of the characteristics of an excellent WSB member. Then Jack tells her directly that he wants her to be one of them. Joss is terrified by all that has happened, so Jack informs her that she needs a cover story. He tells her that her car is clean and outside, and he gives her money to buy a new phone. He also says he'll be in touch. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.